Hi guys. I just wanted to talk a little bit today about high functioning autism called Asperger's syndrome. There seems to be so much confusion and so much pain and suffering that's going on in society right now with this condition that a lot of our kids are being diagnosed with. My granddaughter is going to be 9 in September, and we had her diagnosed with high functioning Asperger's when she was age 5. And at first, we didn't even want to believe it or acknowledge it, but we knew something was different. We knew something was off. And my daughter really has a hard time with it, and she struggles with her because, like all parents, we want our kids to just act perfect 99% of the time, and when they don't, we get really frustrated. So basically, I have done a lot of listening to others and just listening to other mothers and people and grandmothers that are on the internet talking about this condition. And basically, with our little girl Bella, she looks like a totally normal child. So when you see her, you would never think that there's anything going on that's different from the ordinary, unless you spend about 2-3 hours with her, and then you would see that there's something that's just a little off. And it's not that she's not normal. I can't say that she's not normal. It's just the way they perceive the world and the way things are different in their minds. And it's frustrating at times because kids with Asperger's focus on certain things that we don't. Like, for instance, if we go and brush our teeth, we just go in the bathroom, put the paste on the brush, we brush our teeth, and we're done. Well, with Bella, it's a little different. She feels the need to put the paste on perfectly on the brush. She has to rub it in and get it just in the right spot. And then she has to rinse it 3 times, and then she starts to brush. And then when she's done, she actually thinks she has to pat the brush dry. And if you yell at her, tell her, no, Bella, this isn't the way you do it, she will have a meltdown. And that's what these kids are really big on having, is meltdowns. They will just basically like just freak over the littlest things. They could be going through the day just totally normal. For instance, my daughter takes her to the pool yesterday. She loves going to the pool, of course, because there's tons of kids there and she can play and talk and tell her stories. The stories, that's another thing I'll get to. But for instance, there was a song that was being played on the audio system, and it just was something for some reason that just struck her the wrong way, and she had a meltdown. She starts screaming and crying, I want to leave, I hate this place, blah, blah, blah. So my daughter is totally humiliated, feels bad, comes home and sits and basically is just in major depression for the rest of the day because she feels so isolated and so frustrated. And we keep trying to tell her, don't worry about it, this happens, you just have to try to, ride through it. Well, it's easier said than done. Or we have instances where she's in the store and for some reason something just sets her off and she wants to leave. So, and that's all part of anxiety from what we understand now. But there's just so many things that are just a little bit different that cause a lot of emotional stress for the parents, for the family, because people on the outside that have never experienced this, they don't know what it is. So, for instance, when I first learned about it, I never really understood it. I heard the term Asperger's, I heard the term autism, but I never understood high functioning autism. What the heck is it? Until we had this little girl in our lives. So, and the biggest part, I think, is we all need to get together and talk, and we need to support each other and be strong supports for one another, because the world, and the way society is right now, there's not enough research done on this, and there's not enough support that you can get from other outside people, and it makes you feel really isolated. So another thing I just thought of that she loves to do, she loves to tell stories. Kids with Asperger's, they'll focus on one thing, and they'll just keep telling the same story, and they'll repeat it 2 or 3 times. One good thing with Bella, though, is she does always want to see our reaction to the stories. She does want to see what we think or what we say. And the upside of this is she's extremely intelligent. She can remember anything. You give her a phone number, you give her any type of story, anything, she will come back 2 months later and I'll forget the passcode to my house. And she'll say, oh, Grandma, this is the passcode. So it's like we use Bella as our memory bank. So who's normal? Is it Bella or is it us? So I wouldn't even say it's not that it's not normal, but she's on a 5th or 6th grade level, and she's only gone into 3rd grade. She was able to read basically adult books when she was age 5. So she's blessed tremendously when it comes to having the ability to learn. She struggles with math, and she also struggles with writing, which is very common with kids with Asperger's. They just can't sit still. Another issue we have is at bedtime, the kid has energy where she'll be doing laps around our yard, like 50 laps at 10:30 at night. And it's like, okay, we want to go to sleep. And she won't let us go to sleep. So it's really hard and it's really frustrating at times. And my daughter has to give her melatonin just to get her to go to sleep at night because we don't want to go the drug route. That's a whole other subject we'll get to on another blog that I do. But I just think we all need to be supportive of one another, and we need to talk to each other and lift each other up, and really find a way that we can help these kids and not isolate other people, because it's really sad because these kids are brilliant minds. They are so intelligent. Who knows, these kids might cure cancer someday. So I think it's really important that we, as a society, try to help each other. So I will be back with more stories about Bella. Thanks, everybody.